Maybe you would like to open a company together with somebody else or with more people. In this podcast, we are going to talk about a Danish company form that makes this possible.
Welcome to the Business Lessons in Denmark podcast. Our podcast gives the answers to your business related questions that have not been answered yet, or things that haven't even crossed your mind. My name is Elina Bohos, and I am here with my colleague Katalin Balog. We are owners of Cool Accounts APS, a Danish accounting office. Hi, Kati. What do you think about the fantastic company name suggestion we have received?
Oh, I'm blown over. We meant it as a game last time when we asked our listeners to come with a good, catchy company name for your wedding dress salon. But now we have received such a fantastic suggestion that could even work in real life. Our listener, Lilla Beck, has not only sent a company name, but actually worked out a full concept, which includes the company name, a sketch for the company logo, and a tagline.
Yeah, and it's so simple but powerful. So the name itself is my first name, Edina. The logo is the name, but the I in the name is a silhouette of a bride, and the tagline is the one wedding dress.
Yeah, it's ingenious. As Lila designed the logo and the whole concept, it really catches the feeling a bride might have.
We thank Lila very much for this great concept, and you and I actually talked about that if she took up marketing as a profession, she would probably succeed beautifully with it, as she's very creative.
Yeah, I mean, Lilla already has a company which is not a marketing company, but it shines through that she is not only creative, but thinks commercially as a business owner.
Yes. If you would like to see the concept Lila has sent us, you can find it in our Facebook page.
Yeah, the name of our Facebook page is Business Lessons in Denmark. So you can find us by that.
Well, so guess what? I haven't slept for a week now. My mind is constantly spinning around about how I could do the wedding dress salon business together with my mother-in-law, because maybe it would be easier to do this business together with someone than do it alone. But I have no idea how we can start it. I try to look after, but I got lost in it because it all seems so complicated, and it is also in Danish, so I'm totally out of it.
Oh, I understand. Yeah, it could be advantageous that you wouldn't start it alone, but together with somebody. And yeah, let's see. Maybe we can find a solution. I have helped already many people with this problem, so maybe we can find something that could also help you.
It sounds good because I'm fully full of ideas. I'm already designing wedding dresses from morning to night. I have been looking at materials, and my mother is in law is so good at selling that she could sell sand in the desert,
Okay,
and I
in the
think
desert, yeah.
in the desert, yeah. So and I think we could work very well together. So I see a huge opportunity in this.
Yeah, absolutely. What would you then say if I told you that there is a company form in Denmark that allows both of you to be owners? It's called ES, which is Danish for intrasandscape. So the E and the S comes from this word. Intrasand means interested, and the word intrasandscape perhaps could be translated as a company of interested parties. It's very much like a sole proprietorship, only it doesn't have one owner, but several owners.
Wow, hurrah! It seems finally I can open a business together with my mother-in-law. So super. And how will the ownership ratio be?
As you want. If you want the ratio to be 50-50, that's totally possible. But it can also be 70% to you and 30% to your mother-in-law, or 90% to you, 10% to your mother-in-law, as you want.
Okay, half and half would be good for us, I guess. And then we also share the profit according to the ownership.
Yes.
Okay. And then how can we open the company? Does it require capital, and are there any opening costs?
It doesn't require any amount of start capital, and it is absolutely free to open. All it takes is that you agree between yourselves, preferably in writing, what the ownership ratio should be and how you will organize the work between you. What if one of you wants to get out of the company and would like to sell her share to someone else? Or what if you disagree? And so on. All these things you have to talk about and decide on before.
It sounds very official. So this ES agreement should be done by a lawyer?
Well, it is the best solution, but it's not required. You can probably do it yourself, maybe with a little help. The point is that you clarify everything beforehand. And it's also best to record all these agreements in writing. You know how it is when two people work together. It can happen that they remember differently at certain things. There can also come an argument between you. Maybe you accidentally make an unkind comment on your mother-in-law's cooking at a Sunday lunch, and then the next thing you know, she doesn't even come to work on Monday, and then all these things, just get worse and worse. There is a tense atmosphere between you, so this can affect the company, of course. Um,
Yeah. But I learned for life not to comment on the mother-in-law's cooking.
okay.
So, but then I understood that it is the best if we have a written agreement about the rules of the game. When we have that, we can open the company tomorrow since it doesn't cost any money.
Yeah, we can open it tomorrow. Officially, it takes 14 days for the Danish Business Authority to open the company, but usually it happens much faster, often in 1 or 2 days. It would be nice if you already had the name that you want to give the company. You can go with this name that Lilla has found for you, Edina. Only thing that with this company name, you have to have the ES as part of the name. So the name would be Edina ES or ES Edina. So it can be in the beginning or at the end.
Okay, so now I see the essence of this company form, but is there anything we should pay attention to?
Yes, there is one thing that it is very important and you should pay attention to. Namely, the owners have personal, unlimited, and joint liability for the company's obligations and debts. So, if you ordered a lot of expensive pearls or silk or something else, let's say for 50,000 crowns, but your company doesn't pay or can't pay, then you are personally liable for this debt with your private assets.
Okay, so if I own 50% of the company and my mother-in-law also owns 50% of the company, are we both responsible to the extent of this 50%?
No, and I really want to emphasize this. In this company form, you are both 100% responsible, not just to the extent of your ownership. So, if your mother in law is broke as a joke, while you have hundreds of thousands of crowns in your bank account and the company is in debt, then the creditors have the right to collect 100% of the debt from you, even though you only own 50% of the company.
Oh my God, are you serious? So I only own half of the company. So it would be logical for me that then only half of the debt is mine. The other half belongs to the other owner, but I still have to pay the entire debt.
Yeah, this is the case.
Jesus.
And until the debt is paid, um, in all, both of you are liable for 100% of it.
Wow. So I have to be very careful about who I go into business with.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope my mother-in-law is swimming in money.
Yeah. Of course, if you pay attention not to accumulate debt, then there will be no problem. You just pay your bills, you pay the VAT, you pay your taxes, and this problem will never arise.
Yes, of course, we will do everything as we should.
Okay, great. So, in summary, the ES is largely subject to the same rules as the sole proprietorship that we have already discussed in our previous episode. So I don't go into all this about bookkeeping and so on. We have already talked about it.
Yes, at this point, I would like to remind the listener that if you haven't heard our podcast about sole proprietorship as a company form, then you should listen to number 7 episode.
Yes, and an ES has also the same advantages as the sole proprietorship, which is that it can be opened cheaply, its administration is simple, its data is not public. I mean the earning, the data about the earning, the revenue, the profit, and so on is not public. The only difference is that there are more people in it. And by the way, not only 2 people can be the owners, can be even 3 or 4 or more people.
Wow, so we can even involve my father-in-law like an assistant dresser.
Your father-in-law as an assistant dresser. Okay, does he know about it yet?
Not yet, but it's delayed.
No, okay. All right. Anyway, do you have any questions about the ES?
Uh, well, what if one of us wants to get out of the business? For example, my mother-in-law is getting very old and she would like to be a pensionist. So can I continue to drive the ES alone, like a sole owner?
No, unfortunately not. In this form of company, it is required that there are several owners. If such a situation occurs, you will be forced to change your company form or find somebody else who could come into the company instead of your mother-in-law.
Mhm. Okay, thank you so much for your help. So now I just have only one question. What will be the topic next week?
Mm. Well, now we have already discussed quite a few Danish company forms, and we will continue on this path next week. I could say as much that if the personally owned small business is a small Volkswagen Beetle and a sole proprietorship is a Toyota, then next week we are going to talk about a company form that would be a Tesla.
Oh, you pierce my heart with an arrow because that car is my dream. So I can see more sleepless nights ahead of me, but I will definitely be here next week.
Great.
Today's episode was sponsored by Kulakon CPS. Kulakon CPS can help with starting your company with bookkeeping and tax matters. In addition, we also provide business and financial consulting. If you liked the show, then follow us and like our Facebook page. If you would like to contact us, you can do so via our website www.accounts.cool. We wish you a successful week.